is here. And tonight we have another true crime case to cover. This time, the case of Megumi Yokota from the 70s. Alright, why don't we get started with this case? So this again is the missing persons case of Megumi Yokota. Here's a quote from one of her brothers, Takuya Yokota. She was like a sunflower to the family, very cheerful. She would brighten up the family up. After she was gone, the family became very dark and somber. It was very difficult to my parents. Megumi was born October 5th, 1964. She lived with her family in a small village in Japan by the sea. Her mother, Takuya Yokota, her father, Shigeru Yokota, as well as her twin 9-year-old brothers, Takuya and Tatsuya. The family moved there to Niigata after her father's job with Bank of Japan assigned him to that area. So, the Japanese girl, Megumi Yokota, was abducted when she was 13 by North Korean spies in 1977 while walking home from badminton practice one night. She went missing from the Niigata Prefecture city north of Tokyo on November 15th, 1977. Megumi had her backpack and racket. She and her friends left Yori Middle School, walked the same way, and parted ways a mere 800 feet from her home. She never made it back. Megumi was only minutes away from her home when she disappeared. She was expected home at 6, but after an hour had passed, her mother began to worry. Following her disappearance, her family searched everywhere. All night, they combed over the beach. By their home, police searched for her for weeks, but to no avail. Nothing happened with her case until 20 years later when a journalist visited the Yokotas, telling them about how she had been abducted by North Korean spies. North Korea and its leader, Kim Jong-il, did admit to abducting Japanese civilians from the shore. By the 1990s, evidence of North Korean state involvement in Japanese citizen abductions came to light. Involvement in Megumi's, for instance, in the 1970s and the 1980s. A North Korean spy who deserted for the South revealed to Seoul information in 1993 regarding the abduction of a Japanese woman, Megumi. I remember her very clearly, said An Myung-jin. I was young and she was beautiful, he said. One of her kidnappers, a senior spy master, had told him her story in 1988, that the kidnapping was an unplanned blunder, that they had not meant to steal a child. 2 spies were waiting on the beach for a pickup boat in Niigata when they noticed someone observing them from the road. Out of fear, they grabbed the individual, and since Megumi was of a greater height compared to girls her age, and due to how dark it was, they did not realize they had abducted a child. For many years, they did not know what happened to Megumi. Her mother recalls in the documentaries seeing her daughter in the faces of young girls and always thinking they were her daughter. Though she knew this was not the case, then one day, 20 years following her abduction, they learned she had been kidnapped by North Korean spies. Her father, Shigeru, pushed for repatriation of abducted Japanese individuals being held by North Korea. He publicized photos and his daughter's name by March of 1997. Megumi's family, Shigeru, Saki, and her twin brothers, along with 7 other Japanese families, founded the National Association for the Rescue of Japanese kidnapped by North Korea, or Narcan. In their efforts to rescue those Japanese citizens abducted by North Korea, it also sought to apply pressure to North Korea to take action and let these people go free. Victims' Family Association Chicago ran this association of family of victims of these state crimes, which was put in place in 1997. He and his wife came to symbolize the movement to bring home these abductees. North Korea did eventually admit to kidnapping her, but while captive, they claimed that she died. Megumi's mother says, Megumi must have been teaching spies. That's why North Korea has claimed she is dead, because they can't show her in public, as Megumi could identify the spies she taught. Stop here in the middle and review an article, because I feel like this is the best time to go over it. So, although no one can know exactly how the abduction occurred, 3 decades later, her mother would be able to piece together a gruesome description of Megumi's abduction. She believes Megumi was thrown into a car, taken to a nearby ship, and locked in storage, where she wept, screamed, and clawed at the steel door for the entire trip to North Korea. Very little is known about the cases. The world would most likely like to hear the North Korean regime explained. The compelling story of Megumi Yokota is arguably the most infamous example of a forced abduction, largely because of Megumi's young age at the time, 13, and the devoted activism of her parents, Saki and Shigeru Yokota. Unfortunately, little is known about her life in North Korea except small glimpses, many of them second-hand gleaned from former North Korean agents like Kim Young-woo. Kim, a former terrorist agent for North Korea, revealed Yokota had been a language instructor in Pyongyang. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I'm trying. Agent Kim Young later recalled that Yokota was the Japanese teacher for Kim Soki, another female spy that she knew. Fuki Fujimura, one of the 5 Japanese abductees who returned in 2002, also said that Yokota taught a woman whom she recalled was named Suki. There is also evidence that Yokota taught 2 sons of Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-nam, and Kim Jong-chul. When he defected, former agent Han Myung-jin testified that he received language instruction from Yokota at the Kim Jong-il Political and Military University. Another North Korean agent who defected recalled the young Megumi as very smart. He said that she had begged to be returned to Japan, and was told if she studied the Korean language hard, she would be returned. Believing this, she studied hard and for 5 years repeatedly asked for permission to leave, but was always denied. An agent opined that this cycle of promises, betrayal, and disappointment led her to become mentally ill, and she was sent to a mental hospital, generally reserved for agents. The former North Korean spy said he had met her at a hospital where she told him her story. Through reverse DNA testing in 2002, it was discovered that Megumi Yokota had married a South Korean abductee, Kim Young-nam, and the testimony of abductee Gao Masuiki. I can't say it, I'm sorry. Yokota and Kim separated in the spring of 1993. Although North Korea claimed in 2002 that Megumi Yokota died in March of 1993. Another Japanese abductee, Fuki Chimura, said she had lived next door to Yokota for several months starting in June of 1994. Chimura testified that Yokota was suffering severe depression and was mentally unstable. Another abductee, Yokota's life in North Korea have been corroborated, but whether she still remains alive is still unknown. In response to the Japanese investigations into the abduction of its citizens in 2002, North Korea pronounced certain people dead and delivered ashes to their families. According to North Korea, Megumi Yokota died on March 13th, 1993. The ashes, said to be those of Yokota, have been proven through DNA testing not to be hers. Different places say different things, but that article and also her parents say that they do not believe it is hers. So anyways, we're gonna go back to my timeline. I just felt like that was an important thing to include in this video. By 2002, they were able to get 5 victims home. In 2002, North Korea admitted to state-sponsored abduction program. According to Victor Cha, a North Korean specialist at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, Japanese nationals were then used to teach North Korean spies Japanese, their language and culture. At the time of the articles I read, Japan listed 17 persons kidnapped by North Korea. North Korean spies believing many more persons have been kidnapped, which we are unaware of. The abductions remain unsolved. They don't really have much they can do since it's up to North Korean leaders to let them return home. Though they are skeptical about the explanations of deaths, lack of proof, and doubt even if the death count is an accurate one either. 5 of the 17 were returned to Japan in 2002. There are claims that 8 are already dead and 4 never made it to North Korea. We are a little sketched out by North Korea's explanations on this stuff, so we'll take it all with a grain of salt. According to North Korea, Megumi took up residence in Pyongyang Mental Hospital due to depression and later entered a pine forest on its grounds on April 13th, 1994, hanging herself, taking her own life. However, this is not the only death date for her. They first alleged she died on March 13th, 1993, but now attribute that to some type of error. Thus, DNA evidence, some sources say, was inconclusive with the ashes family was given, while others say the DNA does not belong to Megumi. Takuya Yokota once met with U.S. President George W. Bush to talk about demanding sanctions on North Korea, and in 2013 she testified about her daughter's abduction. In 2014, the Yokotas met Megumi's Korean daughter as well. They say that Megumi's father used to carry a little gold that she had given him every day, wherever he went. It was a gift for Megumi for his 45th birthday, November 14th, 1977, the day before she disappeared. So this man was heartbroken until the day he died. He always believed she would come home. We'll get into that though. Breaks my heart. Shigeru, or however you say his name, I'm sorry, and Saki spent more than half of their lives fighting to bring home their daughter, Megumi. He passed away at the age of 87. Megumi's father, June 2020. Till his dying day, he remained firm in his belief that Megumi was still alive. Asked what he would like to do with his daughter would be 38 if she was found alive. He said he would like to show her Japan's high-rise buildings and take her to Tokyo Disneyland. The mother said she would like her daughter to relax and enjoy freedom after enduring years of constant monitoring. I want to take her to a vast grass field like a ranch in Hokkaido and want her to lie down with her arms and legs stretched wide. I want her to feel free with the cattle, horses and clouds moving around. I hope the day will come. So Megumi's father, by April 2018, his health had really been declining. He was hospitalized. His room was filled with photos of his beloved daughter, who she was when he remembered her, before she went missing, and photos he was provided of her in North Korea in adulthood. When he struggled, his wife would encourage him by telling him to hold on to Megumi until Megumi comes home. He died holding on to that fervent hope. His wife said, "You must hang in there until Megumi comes home and you can talk to her." "I will," he replied with a firm nod. Tragically, he never got the chance. This case greatly affected me when I read this. And I also listened to a podcast on it, so I will be sure to link it in the description. Saki and Shigeru. So this is Saki about him. He had a very difficult life, and now Japanese people know such terrible crimes have happened. She said, "It seems as if I had run out of tears over Megumi's disappearance, but sadness in my life never ceases to deepen. I just want to get her back." Yeah, so Japanese kidnapped to train their spies. North Korea said they would return some of the abductees, but that the result, like Megumi, they were allegedly already dead. Educating and training spies makes one too valuable, and it is possible they were never planning to set Megumi free or let her go home. Megumi married Kim Young-nam and had a daughter before allegedly killing herself. The daughter was born allegedly 5 years before she killed herself, or before her death, technically, if you believe it. Kim Young-nam was from South Korea and was also abducted as a teen. But in 1986, a year after their marriage, they had their daughter. In 2002, the Yokotas learned of the existence of Megumi's daughter, and North Korea allowed the Yokotas to meet their daughter discreetly, to meet their granddaughter and great-grandchild. They did this within the Mongolian capital in March of 2014. Their granddaughter was 35 years old at this point. Kim Young-kyung mentioned that his granddaughter's face was very similar to his family lineage, and he also got to meet his great-granddaughter. So the media material on this case kidnapped the Japan-North Korea abduction cases, which is from 2005. Abduction, the Megumi Yokota story, which I really wanted to watch, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So if anybody finds it, please let me know. I looked all over. It looked really interesting. That one's from 2006. And then there's Megumi. There's one called Megumi from 2007, and another with the same name in 2008. There was a special on surprised by Yokota's parents. It's titled Megumi and shows her days in Japan before being kidnapped. There's a theater performance of Megumi's life called The Pledge to Megumi. It's her before abduction, and in the end, she's reunited with her parents. Paul Stuckey wrote a song dedicated to her. It's called Song for Megumi. It's from 2007. Peter Frampton wrote 2 songs inspired by the documentary on her. The song's called Asleep in the Wheel and Sweet Liberty, but it's spelled S-U-I-T-E. From the album Thank You, Mr. Churchill. So, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. The rest is up to you to determine what you think. Do you think she's alive? Do you think she's dead? What do you think? I could see it going either way. So,